Mara adjusted her helmet and stepped out of the small spacecraft. The air on this planet felt strange but fresh, cool, and slightly sweet. She looked around, amazed. The sky was a swirl of colors, like soft waves of blue and green, moving and changing as if it were alive. Strange plants glowed gently in the distance, their light casting soft shadows on the ground. Her boots pressed into soft, moss-like grass. She had traveled many light years to explore this planet, a place that no human had ever visited. Every sound was new. Small creatures scuttled across the ground, leaving tiny trails of sparkling dust behind them. Birds with transparent wings flew high above, their songs echoing in ways she could feel in her chest. Mara checked her instruments. Everything seemed normal, but her gut told her that this planet was different. Not just different, but special. Something in the air made her feel alive, aware of every small movement around her. She could not explain it, but it was a feeling that told her she was meant to be here. As she walked toward a strange structure in the distance, she noticed that the plants near it were taller and brighter. They formed a natural path leading to a building made entirely of crystal. The sunlight touched it, and the walls shimmered like liquid light. Mara slowed down, staring. She had never seen anything like it. Suddenly, a soft vibration moved through the ground. Mara stopped. She looked around, her hand instinctively reaching for the side of her helmet. The vibration grew stronger, almost like a heartbeat. Her heart beat faster as she realized that the sound was coming from the building itself. Then a voice spoke, clear and strong, yet calm and kind. "Only you may enter, human." Mara froze. The voice came from above, but when she looked, she could not see anyone. The words echoed in her mind, gentle but commanding. She did not know what to say. She had trained for many situations, but this was beyond anything she had imagined. "Who's there?" she finally asked, her voice trembling slightly. From the top of the crystal building, a figure descended. Mara could not believe her eyes. The being was tall, taller than any human. Its skin shone with soft light, and it had features that were both alien and beautiful. Large eyes glowed with intelligence, and delicate wings shimmered at its back. The figure moved gracefully, as if it was floating. "I am the queen," the figure said, bowing slightly. "I have been waiting for you." Mara took a step back. "Waiting for me? Why me?" The queen's eyes softened. "Humans are different. You carry a spark that no other species has. Your mind, your creativity, your courage. That is why only you may enter." Mara's mind raced. She had explored many worlds, met many life forms, but she had never heard anything like this. Her feet felt heavy, but her curiosity was stronger than her fear. She nodded slowly. I will enter," she said. As she approached the building, the queen moved aside. The doors of crystal opened silently, revealing a large hall inside. The light from the walls filled the space, and it seemed to pulse with energy. Mara felt a warmth in her chest, a sense of welcome and wonder. The hall was unlike any place she had seen. The floor seemed to move under her feet, adjusting softly to her steps. The walls displayed patterns of light that shifted like water. At the center of the hall, a large pool of liquid light reflected the colors of the sky outside. Mara walked slowly, her eyes wide with amazement. "Do not be afraid," the queen said. "This place is made to honor life. It responds to those who enter with an open mind." Mara nodded again. She felt a mixture of awe and nervousness. She had entered many new worlds before, but nothing prepared her for this. Her heart beat quickly, and she could feel the air vibrating with energy. "Why me?" she asked again, this time quietly. The queen smiled. "Your species has a gift. You adapt, you imagine, you create. Other beings may have strength, or speed, or skill, but humans see possibilities that others cannot. That is why you are here. That is why I asked only you to enter." Mara felt a shiver run through her body. She had always known humans were clever, but hearing this from an alien being, one that was more advanced than anything she could imagine, made her feel proud. As she walked further into the hall, she noticed small creatures moving around. They were gentle and beautiful, with glowing eyes and soft, transparent wings. They watched her curiously but did not approach. The queen noticed her glance. "They are my advisors," the queen said. "They are wise, but even they cannot understand. Only you can do what is needed." Mara stopped for a moment, letting the words sink in. She had always thought of herself as small and ordinary, a single human in a huge galaxy. But now she realized that maybe humans had something special. Maybe she was part of something greater. The queen led her to a large platform at the center of the hall. Light rose from the floor and formed shapes in the air, patterns of energy that moved like living things. Mara watched, mesmerized. "This energy," the queen said, "is the life of my world. It is dying because it is unstable. Many have tried to help, but only a human can bring balance. That is why I called you here." Mara's mind whirled. She had not expected this. She had prepared for exploration, for study, maybe even danger. But she had not expected to be told that she held the key to saving a world. I will do my best," Mara said, her voice firm now. She felt a strange calm settle over her. Fear was still there, but it was mixed with excitement and purpose. The queen extended her hand. Light flowed from her fingers, touching Mara's helmet and warming her face. "Then begin," she said. "Step forward and open your mind. See what others cannot see. Feel what others cannot feel." Mara took a deep breath. She stepped onto the platform, and instantly, she felt a surge of energy. The light wrapped around her, filling her mind with visions of the planet, its history, and its needs. She felt connected to everything around her, every living thing, every pulse of energy. She realized then that this was only the beginning. Her journey on this world, and the adventure that awaited her, would test her in ways she had never imagined. But for the first time in her life, Mara felt that she was exactly where she was meant to be. The queen watched her silently, her glowing eyes full of hope. Mara took a step deeper into the hall, ready to discover the mysteries that awaited her, ready to face the challenge that only a human could fulfill. And in that moment, Mara understood that humans were not just explorers. Humans were creators, problem solvers, and protectors, and this world had chosen her to prove it. Mara felt the energy flowing through her like a soft river of light. Every pulse seemed alive, whispering secrets she could almost understand. She looked around and realized the hall was larger than it appeared from the outside. Crystal pillars stretched high, reflecting the colors of the sky, and the light seemed to respond to her presence, bending and shaping itself in patterns only she could sense. The queen stepped forward, her glowing form elegant and commanding. "You feel it, do you not?" she asked. "The energy of this world is alive. It is memory, thoughts, and feelings. It calls for balance, and only a human can provide it." Mara nodded slowly, still trying to comprehend what she was experiencing. But why humans? There must be others who are strong, fast, or clever. Why me? The queen's eyes shone warmly. Strength and speed can move objects and fight battles. Cleverness can solve problems within limits. But humans create possibilities that no other species can imagine. You can see beyond rules, beyond boundaries. That is why you are chosen. Mara felt a mix of pride and fear. She had always thought humans were just ordinary beings in the vast galaxy. Hearing this made her feel important. Yet she also realized the weight of the responsibility. She was not here to explore or study. She was here to save a world. The queen waved her hand, and the light around them formed a path. It floated above, the ground shimmering and shifting as if alive. "Walk with me," the queen said. "I will show you more of what is needed." Mara followed, her feet moving carefully along the glowing path. The hall seemed to stretch endlessly, and with every step, she felt more connected to the energy around her. Strange symbols appeared in the air, forming patterns that shifted when she blinked. It was like watching a story unfold, but one that only she could read. "Many have tried to understand this world," the queen said softly. "Great minds from distant systems, powerful beings with knowledge beyond imagining. All have failed because they approached it with tools, not with understanding. Only a human's mind can feel and create at the same time. That is why you are here." Mara listened carefully, her curiosity growing. She had always loved solving puzzles, thinking creatively, finding solutions where none seemed possible. Now she realized that her small human skills could matter on a cosmic scale. The path led them to a large chamber, shaped like a dome. At its center was a pool of liquid light, brighter than anything Mara had ever seen. It moved like water, but it was more solid, and tiny sparks of color danced within it. The queen gestured for Mara to step closer. "This pool," the queen explained, "is the heart of our world. It is alive, but its balance is failing. If it collapses, our planet will die. You have the power to stabilize it." Mara's heart raced. She had faced dangers before, but this was unlike anything she could imagine. She had never thought a single human could hold the fate of an entire world in their hands. Yet, looking at the pool, she felt a strange connection. She could sense its rhythms, its pulses, and its needs. "Show me what to do," Mara said. Her voice firm, she felt determination rising inside her. Fear was still there, but it was accompanied by purpose. The queen smiled. "First, you must learn to read the energy. Close your eyes, feel it, let it speak to you." Mara closed her eyes and took a deep breath. The light around her seemed to grow warmer, wrapping her in a gentle glow. She focused, listening to the pulses and currents. Slowly, patterns began to emerge. She could sense how energy flowed, how it built up and dissipated. It was like watching waves in an ocean, each one carrying information and meaning. Hours passed, or maybe minutes' time felt different here. Mara's mind worked in ways she had never experienced. She began to understand the language of the energy, seeing how small adjustments could create harmony or chaos. She felt her own human instincts guiding her, shaping the energy with her thoughts and feelings. "You are learning quickly," the queen said, her voice full of admiration. "Few beings grasp this so fast. You are ready for the next step." Mara opened her eyes and looked at the pool. It seemed to shimmer with recognition, responding to her presence. She realized she could influence it, gently guiding the currents. With her mind, every small movement created waves that spread throughout the pool, restoring parts of its rhythm. "Next," the queen continued, "you must see the threats that endanger our world. There are beings from other systems who seek to exploit our planet. They do not understand the energy, and they will harm it if given the chance. You must help us defend it." Mara felt a mixture of excitement and worry. She had trained for exploration missions, but now she was being asked to protect an entire civilization. Her instincts told her it would not be easy, but she also felt a surge of confidence. She could do this. Humans were capable of more than they realized, and she was about to prove it. The queen gestured to a series of floating panels. They displayed holographic images of alien ships, strange creatures, and planets that Mara had never seen. "These are the invaders," the queen explained. "They cannot control our energy, but they can destroy it. You must find a way to stop them." Mara studied the images carefully. She noticed patterns in their movements, weaknesses in their formations, and ways the environment could be used against them. Ideas formed quickly in her mind. She felt her human intuition and creativity guiding her, showing solutions that others could not see. "You are beginning to understand," the queen said. "Humans have a gift that cannot be taught. You can see beyond the obvious, act where others hesitate, and create what is needed in moments of danger." Mara nodded, feeling both pride and responsibility. She had always thought humans were ordinary, but now she realized the truth. Humans were adaptable, clever, and brave, and in this place, her species' true potential could shine. The queen extended her hand. "You may rest for now, but soon the world will call on you. Be ready. Trust your mind, your heart, and your instincts. That is what makes you human, and that is what makes you powerful." Mara touched the queen's hand gently. A warm light flowed into her, filling her with energy and courage. She knew that she was about to face challenges unlike anything in her past, but she also knew she was ready. As Mara looked around the chamber one last time before resting, she felt a sense of wonder and hope. This world was fragile, yet alive with energy and beauty, and she, a single human, had been chosen to protect it. She felt proud, determined, and curious about the adventures that awaited her. For the first time in her life, Mara understood the meaning of being human, not just to survive, but to create, to protect, and to shine in a universe that often overlooked the power of one ordinary being. And in that moment, Mara felt that she was exactly where she was meant to be, standing at the beginning of a journey that could change not only this world, but the destiny of her species. Mara woke to a gentle hum vibrating through the crystal hall. Light shifted softly, as if greeting her. She had slept for what felt like hours, yet her body felt fresh, her mind alert. The pool of liquid light shimmered quietly in the center, reflecting soft colors that seemed to calm her nerves and sharpen her thoughts. The queen appeared beside her, floating gracefully above the platform. "It is time," she said. "You have learned to feel the energy, but now you must face the trial. Only by passing it can you truly connect with our world." Mara felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. She had trained for many challenges, but she knew this would be unlike anything before. She nodded, taking a deep breath. "I am ready." The queen guided her to a circular platform that rose from the floor. Its surface was smooth and warm beneath her feet. "The trial is simple to describe but difficult to master," the queen explained. "You will be tested in 3 ways: perception, courage, and creativity. Each step will challenge your mind and heart. Succeed, and the energy will fully accept you. Fail, and the trial will restart until you learn." Mara took a steady breath, focusing her thoughts. She had faced many difficult situations before, but this was different. This was not about survival, not about speed or strength. It was about understanding, seeing patterns, and using her mind in ways she had never imagined. Suddenly, the platform lifted into the air. Light surrounded her, forming shapes and patterns that seemed to float in every direction. Mara realized that the trial had already begun. The first challenge, perception, appeared before her. Strange symbols and shifting forms filled the space. They moved quickly, constantly changing, as if alive. Mara closed her eyes for a moment, letting her mind settle. She focused on the patterns, feeling the energy behind them. Slowly, she began to recognize repetition, sequences, and rhythms. Her human mind, trained in observation and problem-solving, allowed her to see connections that no machine could. With careful concentration, she began to guide the symbols with her thoughts, arranging them into stable patterns. The light pulsed in response, brighter and more harmonious with every correct move. The challenge grew more complex, symbols twisting faster, shifting unpredictably. Mara felt her pulse quicken but remained calm, trusting her instincts. After what felt like hours but was likely only minutes, the symbols finally aligned. A soft chime echoed through the chamber, and the first step of the trial was complete. Mara exhaled, feeling a small surge of pride. She had done it. The queen's voice rang softly. "Well done. Now comes courage." The platform shifted, and Mara found herself above a vast void. Below her, nothing but shimmering darkness stretched endlessly. The energy of the world pulsed faintly from the pool she had left behind, and she could sense the challenge waiting. From the shadows, strange creatures appeared. They were not threatening in form, but their presence was unsettling. Their shapes shifted constantly, reflecting fear and uncertainty. Courage is not absence of fear, the queen said. It is acting despite it. Mara looked down, her stomach tightening, but she focused on her purpose. She could feel the energy of the world responding to her. With steady steps, she began to move forward, floating above the darkness. The creatures approached, testing her resolve. Mara remembered the queen's words and continued. Each step required focus, but she also had to adapt. The creatures changed, formed constantly, sometimes blocking her path, sometimes surrounding her. Mara used her mind to sense their movement, predicting patterns, guiding her steps carefully. She felt fear, yes, but she did not let it control her. Her courage, her human instinct to act despite uncertainty, carried her forward. Finally, she reached the other side. Light blossomed around her, brighter and warmer than before. The trial acknowledged her success. Mara felt the thrill of accomplishment, but knew there was one final challenge remaining. The queen appeared, her form glowing with pride. The last step is creativity. You must shape energy itself, creating harmony where chaos threatens. Only a human mind can combine perception, courage, and imagination in ways others cannot. The platform shifted again, and Mara found herself in a space filled with chaotic energy. Streams of light collided and twisted unpredictably. Some areas glowed with life, others seemed to fade into darkness. She could sense imbalance, pockets of destruction that would grow if left unchecked. Mara closed her eyes and let her mind connect with the energy. She visualized patterns of harmony, using shapes and movements she had never known she could create. Slowly, her human creativity began to guide the streams of light, weaving them into stability. Colors blended, pulses synchronized, and the chaotic energy began to respond. It was exhausting. Every thought had to be precise, every feeling intentional. Mara felt herself stretching beyond her usual limits, but she continued, trusting her instincts, trusting the spark that made humans unique. After what seemed like a lifetime, the energy calmed. Light flowed smoothly, vibrant and alive. The chamber pulsed in acknowledgement, and Mara felt a deep connection with the world. She was no longer a visitor. She was part of its rhythm, its heartbeat. The queen appeared once more, her expression radiant. You have passed the trial, Mara. You are now fully connected with the energy. You can feel it, shape it, and protect it. This connection is rare, even among advanced beings. Remember, your strength comes from being human. Your mind, your courage, your creativity, these are your gifts. Mara nodded, feeling a sense of accomplishment and responsibility. She had faced challenges unlike anything before, and she had succeeded. But she also knew that this was only the beginning. The real task, protecting the world from external threats, was still ahead. The queen guided her back to the pool of liquid light. Rest now, she said. Tomorrow, you will begin your work in the world itself. You will see how your actions can change the course of events. Remember the lessons of the trial and trust yourself. You are ready. Mara looked at the glowing pool, feeling its energy pulse in harmony with her own heartbeat. She knew that she had become something more than she had ever imagined. She was a human, yes, but here, her humanity was a power unlike any other. As she settled down to rest, Mara thought about the challenges to come. Alien invaders, chaotic energy, and unpredictable dangers awaited her. Yet she felt prepared. She had learned to see, to act with courage, and to create solutions where none seemed possible. These gifts would guide her in the days ahead, and for the first time, Mara smiled with complete confidence. She was not just a traveler on a strange world. She was its protector, its creator, and a symbol of the power of humans in the universe that often overlooked them. Mara closed her eyes, letting the energy surround her completely. She felt safe, connected, and ready. Tomorrow, her true journey would begin, and she would face it with the mind, heart, and courage that made humans extraordinary. Mara woke to a soft hum vibrating through the chamber. The pool of liquid light shimmered gently, welcoming her like an old friend. She stretched her arms and felt the energy flowing smoothly through her body. The trial had ended, but the real work was beginning. Today, she would face the first challenge in the world outside the crystal hall. The queen appeared before her, floating gracefully. Mara, she said, the energy of our world is stable, but disturbances are spreading from beyond. There are beings who do not understand harmony. They seek to take, to destroy, and to disrupt the balance. You must stop them before they harm our world. Mara nodded. She had trained her mind, her courage, and her creativity. Now it was time to act. Where do I start? She asked. The queen gestured, and a map of the planet appeared. Glowing in midair, bright colors showed areas of stability, while darker shades indicated imbalance. Here, the queen said, pointing to a cluster of shadows on the map. These disturbances come from creatures that arrive from another system. They cannot feel the energy, but they can damage it, go to this region, and protect it. Mara took a deep breath and followed the queen to a platform that floated high above the land. Below her stretched a vast valley, glowing streams of energy. Weaving across the terrain, trees shimmered with light, and rivers sparkled with radiant colors. But in the distance, she could see dark forms moving through the light. They are waiting. The queen said softly, "You must be careful. Observe. First, then act." Mara focused, letting her senses connect with the energy of the valley. She noticed how the disturbances moved, how they affected the light streams. And where they were weakest, her human mind quickly analyzed patterns and possibilities. She realized the creatures were strong but clumsy. They could destroy the energy if they touched the pools, but their paths were predictable. Mara descended onto the valley floor, landing lightly among the glowing trees. The creatures had noticed her and paused. They were unlike anything she had seen tall. Shadowy forms that seemed to absorb light. Their movements were deliberate, but Mara could sense fear in them. They did not understand the energy, and it made them anxious. Mara stepped forward and raised her hands. She focused on the energy around her, shaping it like a gentle current. The pools of light responded instantly, flowing toward her and forming protective barriers around the valley. The creatures hesitated, confused by the sudden changes. She realized she could guide the energy to protect areas under threat, while also directing the creatures away. Using her human creativity, Mara thought quickly, arranging streams of light to form safe paths for the creatures to leave the valley. Without touching the pools, the creatures reacted immediately. They followed the paths, their movements awkward, but guided by Mara's energy. She felt the pulse of the world strengthening as the creatures moved away. Her human mind had found a solution that relied not on fighting, but on creating harmony. Suddenly, one creature broke from the path, moving directly toward a large pool of energy. Mara acted quickly, summoning a wave of light to block its path. The creature recoiled, surprised by the sudden force, and Mara guided it back toward the correct route. Her heart raced, but she remained focused. Every action required precise timing and careful thought. Minutes passed like hours, but Mara did not falter. She used her perception to anticipate movements, her courage to face danger without hesitation, and her creativity to shape the energy in ways the creatures could not predict. Slowly, the valley returned to balance. The creatures moved toward the edge of the territory, finally leaving the area. Mara exhaled deeply, feeling both relief and pride. She had faced her first challenge outside the crystal hall and succeeded. The world's energy pulsed in harmony again, stronger than before. The queen appeared beside her, glowing with admiration. "You have done well, Mara. You did not destroy the creatures, yet you protected our world. This is the power of a human mind. Others would fight blindly, but you saw the solution that brought balance and safety to all." Mara smiled, feeling a deep connection to the world around her. She realized that being human meant more than strength or speed. It meant creativity, compassion, and the ability to see solutions that others might miss. The queen gestured toward a nearby hill. "Rest now. Tomorrow, the disturbances will return, and new challenges will arise. You must be prepared to guide our world through all trials." Mara nodded and walked toward the hill. Taking in the beauty of the valley, streams of light shimmered around her, trees swayed gently, and the air felt alive with energy. She felt proud to be a human, proud to be chosen for this mission, and ready to face whatever came next. As she rested on the hill, Mara thought about the creatures she had guided. They were not evil, only confused, and she realized that understanding and creativity were sometimes more powerful than force. The world was alive, and she had learned how to protect it in harmony. Night fell, and the valley glowed softly under the stars. Mara watched the energy streams pulse in rhythm with the heartbeat of the planet. She felt a sense of peace, but also determination. The challenges would grow, but so would her strength. Humans were adaptable, clever, and brave, and she would use every gift she had to protect this world. As Mara drifted to sleep, She felt the energy wrap around her like a warm blanket. She knew that tomorrow would bring new tests, but she was ready. She was not alone. The world itself was her ally, and her human mind was a key to its survival. And for the first time, Mara understood the true meaning of being chosen. It was not just about power or skill, but about seeing the possibilities in every challenge, acting with courage, and creating solutions that could protect life itself. Mara closed her eyes, feeling the energy pulse in harmony with her heartbeat. She was ready for the next step. The morning sun glowed softly over the valley as Mara opened her eyes. The energy streams shimmered in harmony, yet she sensed a subtle disturbance at the edge of her awareness. The creatures from yesterday had gone, but something larger, more deliberate, was approaching. Mara knew that the calm of the valley would not last for long. The queen appeared beside her, her form radiant and serious. "Mara," she said, "the disturbances you handled were only the beginning. There is a new threat coming from beyond the stars. It is clever, organized, and it does not understand our energy. If it reaches the pools, it could cause great harm." Mara stood quickly, feeling both excitement and a hint of worry. This was the first major test of her skills. "Where is it coming from?" she asked. The queen gestured, and a map of the world appeared, highlighting a dark area in the northern mountains. "It will arrive soon. You must act before it spreads. Trust your instincts and your human creativity. You have already proven you can guide energy. Now you must defend it on a larger scale." Mara nodded and took a deep breath. She felt the flow of energy around her, listening to its rhythm. The valley was alive, and it responded to her presence. She could feel small currents moving toward her, as if urging her to act quickly. She traveled swiftly toward the northern mountains, her steps light but precise. The air grew cooler, and the light streams began to shimmer in uneven patterns, signaling that the threat was near. Mara noticed strange footprints glowing faintly on the rocks, evidence that intelligent beings had entered the area. As she climbed higher, the outlines of the creatures became visible. They were larger and more structured than the previous visitors. Their bodies were dark and segmented, with sharp angles that reflected light oddly. Mara could sense their intention. They were searching for the energy pools, not understanding the delicate balance they threatened. Mara knew she could not confront them with force alone. She had to think, to guide the energy creatively, and to protect the world without harming the creatures. She spread her hands and let the energy flow around her, weaving protective barriers around the pools and guiding currents to redirect the intruders. The creatures reacted immediately. They stumbled, confused by the shifting light streams, and tried to move forward. Mara's heart pounded, but she remained calm. She analyzed their movements, noticing patterns in how they adjusted to obstacles. Using her human problem-solving skills, she predicted their paths and altered the energy currents to keep them away from the pools. Suddenly, a group of the creatures moved faster than expected, rushing toward a large stream of energy that fed several pools. Mara acted quickly, focusing all her attention on the currents. She created a bridge of light above the stream, guiding the creatures over a path that led them safely past the pools. The energy responded instantly, brightening and stabilizing as the creatures followed her guidance. Mara realized she could combine her perception, courage, and creativity in new ways. She imagined a network of energy streams that would act like a maze, confusing the creatures while protecting the vital areas. She shaped the streams carefully, moving them like threads of a tapestry, weaving a pattern that was both protective and beautiful. The creatures tried to follow, but the maze constantly changed. Every time they adjusted, Mara shifted the currents, guiding them away from danger. She smiled, feeling the exhilaration of using her human mind to create solutions that no one else could. This was more than strategy, it was art. A harmony between intelligence and energy. Hours passed, but Mara did not tire. Her connection with the world grew stronger with every move. The energy seemed to anticipate her thoughts, flowing smoothly through her guidance. She realized that the creatures were not evil, only unaware. Her goal was not to destroy them, but to redirect them safely while maintaining the balance of the world. Finally, the creatures reached the edge of the mountain range. Mara used the last of her energy to create a gentle current that led them away from the world entirely, guiding them toward a safe region where they could not disrupt the pools. As the creatures disappeared into the distance, the northern mountains returned to harmony. The energy flowed freely, brighter and more vibrant than before. Mara exhaled, feeling a sense of relief and accomplishment. She had faced the first real threat and succeeded. Her human creativity and courage had made the difference. The queen appeared, her expression radiant with pride. "You have done well, Mara," she said. "This challenge was greater than the last, yet you found a solution that balanced protection and understanding. You did not rely on force alone. You used your mind, your heart, and your creativity. This is the mark of a true human protector." Mara felt a surge of pride, but also a deeper understanding of her responsibility. Protecting the world was not just about facing immediate danger. It was about thinking ahead, creating solutions, and acting with care. Humans had a unique gift, and she now understood how to use it fully. The queen guided Mara back to the valley. The pools shimmered with renewed light, and the streams of energy danced in harmony. Mara looked around, feeling the pulse of the world as if it were alive. She knew that challenges would continue, but she also knew that she had grown stronger, more confident, and more capable than ever before. That night, Mara sat on a hill overlooking the valley. Stars reflected in the streams below, creating a tapestry of light that seemed endless. She thought about the creatures she had guided. They were not enemies. They were simply unaware of the world's balance. Her role was not to destroy, but to teach through guidance, to use her human ingenuity to protect life. Mara realized that her journey was only beginning. Greater challenges would come. Threats that might not be solved with simple energy currents. She would need all her skills, her courage, and her creativity to face them. But she felt ready. She had learned to trust herself, to see patterns others could not, and to act decisively when the world needed her. As she lay down to rest, Mara felt the energy of the planet embrace her. She was part of something larger, something alive and beautiful. She was a human, yes, but here, her humanity was a power unlike any other. She knew that tomorrow would bring new trials, and she would face them with the mind and heart that made humans extraordinary. And for the first time, Mara smiled. Without hesitation, she was not just a visitor in this world. She was its guardian, its protector, and its guide. Her journey would be long and filled with challenges, but she was ready to meet them all. The morning light glowed softly over the valley as Mara woke. The streams of energy pulsed calmly, but something in the sky caught her attention. A streak of dark light traveled across the horizon, moving faster than anything she had seen before. Her heart raced as she sensed a new, enormous disturbance approaching from the stars. The queen appeared beside her, radiating a calm but serious energy. "Mara," she said, "the disturbance you feel is greater than anything you have faced. It comes from a massive force beyond our system. It is intelligent and relentless. If it reaches our pools, it could unravel the balance of this world entirely." Mara took a deep breath, steadying herself. She had handled smaller threats before, but this was different. This was a challenge on a cosmic scale. She would need all her skill, courage, and human creativity to protect the world. "Where will it strike first?" Mara asked, her eyes fixed on the streak in the sky. The queen gestured toward a map that appeared in the air. A glowing area near the eastern cliffs pulsed with dark energy. "Here," the queen said. "It will arrive soon. You must act quickly to defend this region and stabilize the flow of energy before the force reaches the pools." Mara nodded. She felt the energy of the world rushing through her, guiding her steps. She ran toward the eastern cliffs, her senses heightened, every muscle ready for action. As she approached, the dark force began to take shape. It was massive, like a cloud of shadow with glowing streaks of energy. Moving with intelligence and purpose, the cliffs shook as the force landed, and Mara could feel the disturbance pulsing through the ground, trees bent under the pressure. Streams of energy wavered, and the sky seemed darker in its shadow. Mara closed her eyes. Focusing on the energy of the land, she let it flow through her, feeling where it was weak and where it could be strengthened. The queen's voice echoed in her mind. Use your human mind, Mara. Find patterns, anticipate movements, and act with creativity. Force alone will not stop this threat. You must think beyond what you know. Mara opened her eyes. She observed the dark energy closely, noticing its movements, its patterns, and how it reacted to the land. She realized that it was drawn to chaos and imbalance, where the streams of energy were unstable. It would grow stronger. Where they were steady and guided, it could be weakened. Mara raised her hands and let her creativity flow. She imagined the streams of energy like threads, weaving them into patterns that would protect the cliffs and redirect the dark force away from them. Pools. The energy responded to her thoughts, twisting and shaping into barriers, channels, and currents. The dark force moved, sensing her actions, and Mara reacted. She created a shifting network of energy, paths that led the force round the cliffs without allowing it to touch the pools. Every move required careful thought, predicting how the force would adjust and changing the energy currents to guide it safely. The world seemed to respond to her presence. Rocks floated slightly. Streams of energy glowed brighter, and the air pulsed in rhythm with her heartbeat. Mara realized that she was not just defending the land. She was guiding it, shaping it, and becoming part of its energy flow. The dark force tried to break through her defenses. It pushed against the energy currents, sending waves of pressure and shadows toward the pools. Mara acted quickly, using bursts of focused energy to stabilize the streams. She imagined walls of light rising to block the force while creating openings that led it safely away from the cliffs. Hours passed in intense concentration. Mara's body ached, but she did not falter. She used her human ingenuity to adapt continuously, finding new solutions as the dark force changed its movements. Every instinct, every creative thought, every pulse of courage mattered. Finally, she noticed a weak point in the dark force. A part of it moved slower, reacting more slowly to her guidance. Mara concentrated all her energy on that section, creating a channel that led it away from the cliffs entirely. The rest of the force followed, confused but guided safely by the pattern she had created. As the dark force moved away, the energy of the cliffs and pools stabilized. Streams glowed brighter, trees straightened, and the sky cleared. Mara sank to the ground, exhausted but triumphant. She had faced the first true cosmic threat and succeeded. Her human creativity, courage, and intuition had made the difference. The queen appeared, her face glowing with pride. Mara, she said, you have faced a force far greater than any before. You did not fight blindly. You observed, you predicted, and you acted with intelligence and creativity. You are not only a protector of our world, but a guide, a mind capable of shaping harmony from chaos. Mara smiled, feeling the power of her humanity. She realized that being human meant more than strength or speed. It meant creativity, adaptability, and the courage to act. When faced with something larger than oneself, humans could see possibilities, solve problems, and protect life in ways others could not. The queen guided Mara back to the valley. The pools shimmered with renewed light, stronger than ever. Mara looked around and felt the energy pulse in rhythm with her own heartbeat. She was no longer just a visitor or a student. She was a guardian, a protector, and a guide. That night, Mara sat on a hill overlooking the valley. The stars reflected in the energy streams, creating patterns that shifted and glowed like living constellations. She thought about the dark force she had guided away. It was not evil, only unaware. Her role had been to redirect it, to protect the balance without causing harm. Mara felt a deep sense of connection with the world. She understood now that her journey would be filled with challenges, each one testing her creativity, courage, and mind. But she also knew that she had grown stronger with every challenge, learning how to think, adapt, and act in ways that protected life itself. As she rested, Mara felt the energy wrap around her like a warm blanket. She was ready for the final trial, the ultimate test of her human mind and spirit. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but she would meet them with confidence, courage, and creativity for the first time. Mara smiled without hesitation. She was not just chosen. She was prepared. She was a human, and her mind was a force capable of shaping harmony, protecting life, and facing even the greatest threats the universe could send. And in that moment, she knew that the journey ahead would be difficult, but it would also be full of discovery, growth, and the extraordinary power of human creativity. The valley was quiet at dawn, but Mara sensed a tension in the air. The pools of energy shimmered with brilliance, yet a faint tremor ran through the land. She knew that the final challenge had arrived. The queen appeared beside her, her face both calm and serious. "Mara," she said, "the ultimate test is before you. A force unlike any you have faced is approaching. It will challenge every skill you have learned, every thought you have had, and every choice you must make. You must protect this world, but also guide the energy in ways that only a human mind can imagine." Mara felt a mixture of excitement and responsibility. She had faced creatures, disturbances, and cosmic forces, but this test would measure everything she had become. She took a deep breath, letting the energy of the valley flow into her. She felt ready, stronger, and more confident than ever. Far in the sky, a massive shadow appeared. It was different from anything Mara had seen before. It was enormous, stretching across the horizon, with shifting patterns of dark and glowing energy. Its movements were intelligent, almost like it was studying her world before deciding where to act. Mara realized this was not only a force of destruction, it was a test of her mind and creativity. She ran toward the central pools. Sensing the energy around them, the pools reacted immediately to her presence, glowing brighter, as if preparing for the challenge ahead. Mara's task was clear. She had to protect the pools, guide the energy, and redirect the force without allowing it to harm the land. The shadow descended, sending waves of energy that trembled through the ground. Trees bent, streams shimmered with instability, and the sky darkened under its mass. Mara raised her hands, letting the energy respond to her. She shaped currents, walls, and channels, weaving them carefully around the pools to protect them. The shadow reacted, shifting its form and moving with incredible speed. Mara studied its patterns, noticing small flaws and pauses. She realized that the force was testing her responses, looking for weaknesses. She could not rely on strength or reflex alone. She had to use her human creativity and strategic thinking. Mara imagined the pools as nodes, connected by invisible threads of energy. She guided the force along paths that seemed natural to it, but always away from the pools. Every movement required careful thought, predicting how the force would adapt and shifting the energy in real time. Hours passed, but Mara did not tire. She felt the energy of the valley flowing through her, and her mind worked faster than ever. She created intricate patterns that led the shadow in circles, guiding it through safe regions while keeping the pools untouched. Her human ingenuity allowed her to see solutions that the force could not anticipate. Suddenly, part of the shadow split off and moved directly toward one of the central pools. Mara's heart raced. This was the ultimate moment of danger. She concentrated all her energy, forming a shield of light around the pool. Then, using her creativity, she created a network of currents that lured the split force away. She imagined paths, openings, and flows, directing the shadow without confrontation. The shadow hesitated, confused by the patterns. Mara smiled. Realizing she could combine strategy and art, she shaped the energy currents like a web, guiding the force entirely away from the pools. Each movement was precise, yet elegant, balancing protection and guidance in perfect harmony. As the shadow moved farther from the pools, the energy of the valley stabilized. Streams glowed brighter than before, the trees straightened, and the sky cleared. Mara sank to the ground, exhausted but triumphant. She had faced the ultimate test and succeeded. Her human mind, creativity, courage, and intuition had saved the world. The queen appeared beside her, radiating pride. "Mara," she said, "you have completed the ultimate test. You have faced a force that challenged everything you are, and you have acted with intelligence, creativity, and courage. You have proven that humans have a power unlike any other. You are a true guardian, a guide, and a protector of life. Mara felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She realized that being human meant more than strength or skill. It meant seeing possibilities others could not, solving problems with creativity, and acting with courage even in the face of overwhelming odds. Her journey had taught her that humans could shape harmony, protect life, and meet any challenge with intelligence and heart. The valley glowed in renewed brilliance. The pools shimmered with vibrant energy, reflecting the patterns Mara had created. Streams of light danced through. The land and the world seemed to breathe with joy. Mara stood and looked around, feeling the pulse of life in every rock, tree, and stream. She understood that she was not just a guardian. She was a part of this world, connected to its energy, and capable of shaping its future. That evening, Mara sat on a hill overlooking the valley. Stars reflected in the pools, creating constellations that shifted and sparkled like living patterns. She thought about the journey she had taken, the creatures she had guided, the forces she had faced, and the challenges she had overcome. Every step had taught her something new, and she felt stronger and wiser for it. The queen appeared one last time, her form glowing in the starlight. "Mara," she said, "you have fulfilled your role. You have shown that humans are capable of extraordinary things. Your courage, intelligence, and creativity are gifts that protect life and guide energy. Never forget the power within you." Mara smiled. She knew she would never forget. She had faced the ultimate test, and she had succeeded. Her humanity, with all its creativity and courage, had made the difference. She felt ready for whatever came next, confident that she could face any challenge and protect the world she had come to love. As she rested under the stars, Mara felt the energy of the valley wrap around her like a warm embrace. She understood that the journey of a guardian never truly ends, but she was ready. She had discovered the extraordinary power within herself, and she knew that being human was a strength beyond measure. The world was safe, for now, but Mara knew that challenges would continue. Yet she also knew that she was prepared, guided by her mind, her heart, and the unique gift of human creativity. She closed her eyes, letting the energy of the world flow through her, and for the first time, she felt a perfect harmony between herself and the universe. And in that moment, Mara realized that she was not only a guardian, but a bridge between her world and the energy that sustained it. She had faced the ultimate test and emerged stronger, wiser, and more confident than ever. She was human, and that was a power the universe could not ignore. The stars shone brighter that night, reflecting the harmony Mara had created. The valley was alive with energy, balanced and protected, and Mara knew that she had made a difference that would last for generations. Her journey had ended, but her role as a protector, guide, and human guardian would continue, a testament to the extraordinary potential of the human mind and heart.